Khalid, in a well-worn travel robe with a deep hood, offers you a respectful bow. His voice is quiet and emotionless. "Greetings, Commander. To be granted an audience with a figure of such importance is a great honor. Your victories have impressed and inspired me, which is why I wish to do my part in the Crusader struggle." "Well then, who are you?" The visitor's quiet words sound like the rustling of pages, dry and impersonal. My name is Velk, and I'm a Khalid. My lineage dates back to the Sakorian clans, and bonds of kinship have always been sacred to my family. When the world wound opened, my ancestors fled Sarkoris, but they did not forget their homeland. Even before the Crusades began, my great-great-grandfather marched into the defense of our people. Perished, as they all did. My great-grandfather and his eldest sons joined the First Crusade. My grandfather joined the Second. Our family's warriors have fought in every crusade, and that is why our bloodline is now extinct. They say this crusade will be the last, and so I've come. To end my bloodline, what? Alone, for there is no one else. Alas, I'm no warrior, but I still wish to be of use to you. How do you plan to help me? His words, devoid of color and emotion, come together to form a monotonous, endless stream. For 23 years I have been gathering documents on Sarkoris. They contain numerous mentions of the history of the Blackwater clan. The clan was I can't read like this. The clan was beset by demons. As its members, they had dedicated themselves to creating a powerful weapon against the world wound. The clan needed more time, but no support came from their neighbors, and so the Blackwaters were destroyed. But the fate of the clan is not important right now. What is important is that, thanks to certain ancient maps, I have been able to pinpoint the location of their settlement. If you go there, you'll be able to verify my findings, and if you happen to find a weapon that will help you fight the demons, it will bring me satisfaction and pride. My life will have purpose. What kind of weapon was the Blackwater clan working on? My thoughts and prayers on this matter are pure speculation. Perhaps it was a blade that could cut down even a demon lord, or an artifact that could call upon an endless host of spirits, or a circlet that could reverse the flow of time. TVA would not approve, or erase the planar invaders from reality. Thanos would approve. The Blackwater clan operated in secrecy to protect their work from spies, unfortunately an ever-present concern, and to avoid drawing the demon's attention before the time was right. You have an odd way of speaking. His pale, expressionless face twists into a poor approximation of an apologetic smile. I am a scholar. I know how to speak through manuscripts and prefer to express my thoughts using my quill instead of my tongue. Social interaction is not my area of expertise, so I ask for your understanding when it comes to my rather rudimentary communication skills. I'll execute the trench now. Why is this not evil? Heck, thank you. I'll put this information to good use. It pleases me to be of use to you. The last gift of a brilliant mind. Whoa. Why is he waiting in our chambers? Dude, that's very nice, but I'm looking for a girl. The air is filled with spicy, heady fragrance, and steam gently rises from the bathtub. Darren is perched on the lip of the tub, holding on with both hands for balance while lazily swinging one leg. His face is the picture of innocence. Ah, my commander, my dear commander, you are just in time. I took the liberty of looking after your well-being and have prepared everything you need for a relaxing bath. Bathing for pleasure is most therapeutic indeed, and is essential for healing rest and sound sleep. Could you perhaps not break into my private study without my permission in the future? Darren frowns a little. Of course, I could. Certainly. He rises to his feet. I apologize for my intrusion. man looks around as if not exactly sure what he's doing. Commander, how's our crusade doing? I mean, theoretically, I don't have a problem with a gay relationship in a game. But there's the problem that he has a demon god living inside of him, and we are technically an angel and know about it. I'm pretty sure that's not allowed for angels to, yeah, fornicate with extraplanal head cutting off super powerful demonic entities. Our crusade? You weren't exactly thrilled to join the Crusaders. Of course I wasn't thrilled, but in unfavorable circumstances a man cannot allow himself to wallow in gloom and despondency. What a man can do is look on the bright side of the whole situation and change his circumstances as much as possible. I, for instance, am certain that I'd be able to throw a rip-roaring party, even in the crater of an erupting volcano, with my hands tied behind my back. So, what brings you to me? Are you going for the crater of an erupting volcano? It's just a trifling thing. I wish to make a donation to the Crusader cause. It seemed a smart decision to me, because what's good for the Crusade is now tightly intertwined with what's good for yours truly. I did have to give the revenue from my estate a good shake-up, and send a few couriers scurrying about, but in the end I managed to acquire a couple of decent items. All in all, here's my donation to the Crusade and its commander. You must try them out for yourself. I offer these gifts from the bottom of my heart. Pax pustules and sickening. Thank you, these will come in handy. Excellent, I was happy to contribute. Good day to you, Commander. By the way, take a closer look at my gifts. You may find something special in there. Commander! Before you, an aged, yet fit and sturdy Garundi stands at attention. His dark skin has an earthy tone to it, and crystals sparkle forth from where his head and eyebrows should be, clearly identifying him as an Orihead. Captain Harmattan, chair of your staff council, by order of Her Majesty Queen Gulfrey, here to deliver a report. I am on this council too. Sela salutes briskly. We'll be racking our brains on how to improve troop morale. I reckon the key is to back up our words with actions. Lead your soldiers by example, and they'll be eager to follow. And drawing on my experience as a paralector, my advice is to maintain calculated moderation in every regard, be it in incentive or penalty, and to be decisive. We have no need for doubt or turmoil. Oh, so of course you also want to be on the staff council. You guys want to be in every council, right? That's not how councils work. But, okay. I am doomed to be your advisor, but do you know what that means? That you are doomed to listen to my advice? Oh, this could be interesting. To start things off, here's an incredible novel and deep thought for you. Loyalty, passion, and morale. All of these can easily be bought with money. Commander, permission to report. We've encountered a problem. Although we are still getting volunteers, we are now seeing cases of desertion. Many who joined the Dresden campaign believe that their duty has been fulfilled with a victory, and they are not keen on staying in the garrison. Those from Canabris wish to return home and rebuild their ruined city. Lastly, there are those who are afraid of lingering in a place where demons might show up with a retaliatory expedition at any moment. My suggestion is to improve living conditions for the privates. Raise their pay, give them extra rations, and reward those who have distinguished themselves on the battlefield with commendations and gifts. Soldiers don't want to leave armies that appreciate them. I feel for these folk, but we have to convince them to stay. I think we might get some help from the servants of the gods. They'll tell the soldiers that the danger has not yet passed and inspire them to keep up the fight against evil. As long as the wound is open, the whole world is in danger. We can't just go home and live like we used to, no matter how badly we want that to happen. So she wants thoughts and prayers for the soldiers, and he's like, more pay, gifts, commendations, rank, title. Yeah, Sela, I don't know, maybe his words will lead to better results in this matter. Most of the Crusaders are volunteers, but they have no right to subvert military discipline. That kind of attitude is tantamount to treason, regardless of who experiences it. We have to identify the instigators, arrest them, and administer harsh punishment to make an example of them. No. I'm not going to rule through fear, do you, Angel? This is not going to work out if we rule through fear. This problem is quite simple. Simply solved with coin. But handing money out to privates is practically throwing it away. We need to pay the officers handsomely. Then they'll figure out how to raise their subordinates' morale. Tell me, Captain, what does the Staff Council do? In short, we make sure that whenever orders are given, they are executed properly. Our job is to keep the soldiers' morale high, so they always follow the officers' commands without question. As for the officers themselves, we look out for any unseemingly or incompetent types who subvert the troops' trust. I have questions for the council. Sile, what do you bring to the council? It's pretty self-explanatory. I'm awesome. We're not fighting for Sommel here. This is a crusade against the abyss. When you're up against demons, you bring a paladin. It's a rule that's tried and very much true. Yes, on the battlefield, but why would I need a paladin in the council? That's for morale. I mean, Regil, what kind of help can I expect to get from you on this council? I have extensive experience being in command and making sure that people respect command and follow command, and those who do not find no more time disobeying since, well, they're gone. I possess a firmness that some of your other officers may be lacking. The essence of my council is not to spoil your troops, but to maintain their discipline strategically. Amidst the chaos of war, a general has to be a beacon of order and purpose for their soldiers. They will be just as grateful to receive rewards or lashes from such a general, and most importantly, they won't even think to disobey their orders. Duran, what are you doing on this council? Mostly I'm just waiting for it to end. One moment. I'll give you some advice on how to charm your subordinates, be they people of importance or simple commoners. I'll tell you the biggest secret straight away. Free. Money. Gold has the most miraculous power there is. Captain Halmatten, why did the Queen appoint you to preside over this council? I'd been in the Osirian infantry for 100 years, fighting for 3 pharaohs. I'm awesome. Then, after I joined the Crusaders, I became even more awesome. I served Her Majesty Godfrey for 2 more decades. After that, I was extremely awesome. Anyway, I dare to say that I've gained some decent experiences over those years. Not to say that I'm extremely awesome, but very, very awesome. That's acceptable. Anyway, we're glad to serve. Let's discuss our options in further detail. Sile, what's your plan? The situation is not that dire. Morale is high and we just won a major victory, so some have let down their guards. We have to call for priests and paladins to get through to the volunteers. It's still early for celebration. If they leave for their homes today, Dresden will fall again tomorrow, and the day after, demons will show up on their doorstep. Servants of the gods are indeed the masters of sweet-talking others into dying free of charge, although through pretty words. But when the choice comes down to inspired preaching or homemade pies, 9 of every 10 will look for comfort in their home and at their table. Their incentive needs to be more substantial than wasted breath. I agree. Regil. Yes. Great plan, if you want your soldiers to run back home twice as fast. They came here of their own volition. We must convince them to stay, not terrorize them into fighting. Duran. Yes, soldiers. Your bought loyalty will run out even sooner than your gold. Once soldiers turn into profiteers, instead of following orders, they start appraising them. I wonder whether or not it's worth their while to obey their general. I hardly need to explain the effect this will have on our discipline. Captain Harmattan. Yes. It's naive to expect the troops won't understand that we would just be trying to appease them. An army cannot stand if it's held together by handouts and desperate promises. No. I disagree. We shouldn't lie to our soldiers. If we build up flimsy illusions now, the demons will shatter them later. Those fighting alongside us must recognize the seriousness of the situation instead of celebrating victory when the war had just begun. Yeah, but sometimes you should celebrate a little for morale. Captain Harmattan. Issued private supplies array and approved rations. But even though we are an angel, right? Shouldn't we go for awareness with priests and paladins? No. We're going to combine angelic wisdom with practicality. Captain Harmattan. At once, I'll distribute the pay and rations right away. The commendation list won't take long either. We should see results shortly. Thank you, Commander. Should any other difficulties arise that require your attention, I'll deliver a new report promptly. Maximize all crusade stats. Captain Odan salutes you and looks over the military council intently. Our intelligence was correct. Kodam Zadech's host marches on Dresden. In his position, the wisest course of action upon reaching the walls would be to lay siege and wear down our forces with nuisance raids. However, my experience tells me that he will act differently. This is going to be a full-on assault, a decisive display of his power. When the enemy moves in our position, we must meet them with a hail of arrows from the walls, gaining the full advantage of our superior defensive positions. To prepare our army for this battle, I propose to pass a reform and increase the presence of ranged troops in our ranks. I believe light-armed slingers, a great number of whom can be trained quickly, will be adequate for our purposes. And once the demons get to them, every one of those slingers will be slaughtered. I say we only recruit experienced, seasoned rangers who have traveled far and wide and know how to defend themselves in any situation. I agree. Captain Odan is correct to assume that our ranged... Oh, we can... Oh, I'm an idiot. We can read the effects. Oh. Manage with light armaments. However, the troops themselves must be of exemplary quality to complete the task at hand. I suggest we pick the most adept archers we have, and have them undergo rigorous training until they become true marksmen. Why is... Here's... That's a stupid question. By capturing the city, we have gone on the offensive for the first time in decades. We have broken the established mold. That which is taken by demons rarely escapes their grasp. The liberation of Dresden could become a symbol of new hope for mortal kind, and Koramzadeh seeks to smother that hope in its cradle. Moreover, Dresden is a well-positioned foothold that threatens both the World Wound and northern Mende. Koramzadeh cannot fail to appreciate its significance. But there's also a more pragmatic reason. Back in the day, Koramzadeh planned to capture Dresden himself, but Minago beat him to it. If he takes it back now, he will finally have his glory, as well as further humiliating Minago. I want to hear the opinions of my advisors. Why Rangers, Sealer? We can't bolster our ranks with hunters and shepherds who can shoot an arrow but don't know anything about melee combat. War is not shooting partridges out of the sky. The demons could easily break through our ranks and attack our archers. And what happens then? A massacre that will leave us digging graves for a bunch of boys and girls? Rangers, on the other hand, spend their whole life traveling. Well, they know what it's like to rely on no one but themselves. They're battle-hardened, and they can wield both a bow and blade to fend off a dangerous foe if need be. Yeah, but we don't need that necessarily now, do we? Since we already have the shield bearers. I'm worrying about the lives of individual soldiers. We must not put their safety above expediency. The price of defeat will be the loss of the entire army, not just a few soldiers. Jill, tell me more about snipers. If we take 100 archers and work them to the bone, in time we will discover a dozen with real talent. They must be able to remain completely focused on their combat objective, taking out one opponent after another, and the infantry's duty is to shield such valuable assets from any attacks, with their bodies, if necessary. Capno down. Can slingers compare to experienced archers? Of course not. A sling is not an accurate weapon, but it is cheap and easy to learn. Cheap. A slinger's training is inexpensive and brief. Any commoner can pick up the basics, and we'll be able to bring a large number of ranged troops onto the battlefield. The numbers will compensate for their lack of skill. Untrained, practically unarmed peasants in the rear, a perfect target. Everything's clear. The main archery range provides weekly recruitment growth for rangers. All archers are promoted to rangers. Okay. Provides... Okay, all archers are promoted. All archers are promoted. No. Extremely accurate ranged troops with powerful bows. We're going... I prefer to strengthen the army with snipers. Regil nods silently. I hope these measures will be enough to repel Kramzadech's onslaught. And if not, those who come to take our place will learn from our mistakes and fare better. Yes, repelling the assault. Taberdeen, you see Khalid, around 50 years old, dressed in a... Seriously, we have more meetings now than we actually fight demons. What is this, reality? Dressed in a doublet that looks older than its owner. Once it may have been expensive, but now it is worn and patched. A scabbardless sword hangs on his belt, covered in such a thick layer of rust that it looks more like a club. His flushed, swollen face, spongy nose and the dark circles beneath his eyes suggest that he is a heavy drinker. When he opens his mouth, "Alright, the one that wanted to talk to us," is to speak, your suspicion is confirmed by the stench of stale alcohol on his breath. "So you're the commander, huh? Oh, it's a cozy little place you've got yourself here. All these walls, polished furniture, solid, commendable. Oh, I think I'll give you a medal for this." "And who are you?" The man groans as he straightens up, affecting a proud, noble bearing insofar as his decrepitude allows. "You will be pleased to know that I am Thaberdeen Quintessimus Heolophantal, rightful heir to the throne of Iz and all Sarkoris." Everyone knows that no king has ever ruled over all Sarkoris, and there is no throne on Iz. How would you know? Have you been to Iz? Have you seen it with your own eyes? You haven't. And if you haven't, maybe there was one. My pops used to tell me about the throne in the palace. Ah, it was gold all over and was encrusted with all manner of crusty things, like diamonds and fire ants, rubies and baboons. Not baboons. You couldn't take your eyes off it. That's what kind of throne it was. "It is all mine by right. Ah, my precious." "Can you prove your claim to the throne?" "Of course. We aren't just some swindlers. We have all the evidence. Here, looky. He takes the rusty sword from his belt and shows you the hilt, which features a nearly worn-off golden crest. The grinning animal it depicts most closely resembles a shabby possum. Here. The royal Smilodon is the ancient symbol of the rulers of Sarkoris. I found this sword. It was given to me. I've also got a wart on my chest, in the shape of a crown. Of course, I'm the heir to the throne. And for those who don't believe me, well, they can get lost. That's what I say. Let them go to Pelura's Fall, where all the kings of Sarkoris are buried. There my entire family tree has been written in stone. Go and read for yourself." Pelura's Fall? What's there? Are you deaf or what? You drink a pine needle infusion and it'll do wonders for your ears, and your eyes too. I'm telling you, all the dead Sarkorian kings are in the ground there. In mausoleums, tomborials, and those obelisks, that's right. And it's all written here, there, about my ancestors. And about me too. Just look, everything will make sense. By every law of the land, I am great king. What do you think you're entitled to? We are simple people, we don't need much. I mean, no, that's not what I meant. We aren't simple people, not simple at all. We need a great deal. A king's palace, a throne, lands. But all that can wait until you take back Iz and make all the demons leave. As for now, I wouldn't mind having a king's residence here in Dresden. A place to sleep, and some hot food, that'd be a start. Trickster mythic path. Well, we don't have a chaotic trickster mythic path. So, soldiers, get rid of this insect. Hey, wait. How could you? Commander! Some commander, you are? Okay. Oh, finally, we're done. Ah, these meetings take ages. Okay. Do they have anything new for us? Goodbye, managing. Have to go cha-cha. Okay, perfect. So we can continue to
march ahead.
Say hello to our Crusader business. Outside exit street. Night gamblers. Alright, right. Aaron's, where's night gamblers? Night gamblers, social, yes, playing card graveyards at night. Okay, yeah, we need to deal with that problem. It was the graveyard, wasn't it at the temple? I believe so.
Our path leads on.
Soldier stares at his card in the dim light of a candle scrub. Deal me 2 more. I'll double down. Coins clink as they land on the barrel. Deal me another one. What? Another one? Are you bluffing, a little shit? Wait until we lay down our cards and you'll see if I'm bluffing. You don't immediately recognize Social's voice. In battle he's quiet and composed, but now you can hear fury as a passionate excitement in his words. Fine, you scumbag. I call. Deal another one as well. Excitement, passion and tension seem to hang over the improvised table. It feels like lightning is about to strike. Damn it! I'm out. The soldier angrily throws his cards at the barrel. Go on, show us what you've got. Read them and weep. Social reveals his cards with a gloating laugh. Nothing but junk. I knew it, you Wally, that those types can't bluff. I was, and you fell for it. With this, Social slams a card on each of the soldier's shoulders like a blaze and places the rest of the cards on top of his opponent's head. Now you've done it, you... The soldier grabs Social by the collar and the cleric immediately raises his fists as if he expected it. At this point, one of the other players spots you in the shadows. Oh really, an angel with a halo, burning brighter than starlight, and you noticed it. Well done, Captain Obvious. Hey there's someone else over there, we've been caught. The jig's up, let us bail. The candle stub is snuffed out. The cards are scattered into the mud. After a moment, only the embarrassed Social remains. What are you doing here? His voice no longer holds excitement. We did nothing wrong. Well, the temper's flared a bit, but that usually doesn't happen, I swear it. Do you think this is an appropriate place for a cleric to be spending his time? Where? Amidst the soldiers resting between battles? Where I can monitor how they're coping with everything they've seen and done? Yes. I think it's a very appropriate place for a cleric. Yeah, that's a good answer. I was worried that you'd gotten yourself into trouble. Thank you. I'm touched, really. But I'm perfectly fine. I was just making sure no one else got into trouble. Yeah, but your voice, that didn't sound like that. You're like this. I know you would never lie to me, so I think you must be lying to yourself. You didn't come here to minister to the soldiers. Why else would I come here then? To win a copper or two? You provoked that soldier. You were practically begging for a fight. I was. No, you misunderstood. That was... Social reaches for the right words to explain himself, but grows dejected and lowers his eyes. You're right. Shame on me. I provoked the fight. I behaved unacceptably. Forgive me, Mishulin. Don't be foolish. You're mortal, just like the rest of us. Not some all-powerful deity of mercy. We need time to relax like the rest of us. Please be honest with yourself. Perhaps you should also confess it to your goddess. After a long silence, Social nods. Thank you. It's all jumbled up in my mind. This war and the horrors it holds our soldiers and Well, they tell me in their confessions, my own responsibilities, lines from Holy Scripture. In the midst of all of this, it's easy to forget. I have my own needs and desires. Thank you for reminding me. The cleric picks up a dirty playing card and twirls it in his fingers. I will not come here again. Please don't forbid these games. Things here are most civil, I swear, aside from the rare heated argument. I'll be honest, I'll miss playing cards. Excitement when you have almost no chance of winning and the risk is high, even though the stakes aren't life or death, just for a handful of coppers. But I'll try to find a less destructive outlet. Perhaps I'll speak to Irabeth and ask her to play chess with me. I wonder what will come of it. Ciel smiles. Thank you for helping me clear my mind. Good night. Errand is complete, so nothing else for us to do here, right? Let's see if we have any dialogue options. Oh, there you are. Salkind. He bows respectfully and says amiable. I was hoping you would honor me with a visit. I know you're extremely busy, but I've been eager to meet the person who managed to restore Golarion control over a part of Sarkorian lands for the first time in decades. This is incredibly symbolic. Tell me about your mercenary company. The Blackstone Company is proud to be recognized as one of the finest Andorran mercenary regiments. We're not a bunch of unscrupulous sellswords looking to oppress the innocent and serve the tyrants of the world. No, we're adventurers eager to get involved in a dangerous enterprise and leave it with pockets full of gold and a clear conscience. Which is why we held a vote among our units. We were glad to accept Queen Golfrey's invitation to join the Crusade, though some of our commanders did voice their displeasure with the sum she offered. Yeah, we know. Story. If I father any children, I must have something to tell them. I wasn't even 20 when I joined the Blackstone Company. I've seen my share of scuffles, but my goal in every conflict remains the same, to defend the common folk. All sell swords treat civilians well, you know, but my soldiers have never disgraced themselves with dishonorable conduct. Once I even joined an expedition that reached the crown of the world. I swear I've never neglected such crucial strategic necessities as supplying the troops with warm undergarments after that. Despite not always agreeing with my superiors in the company, I earned my reputation as a competent officer. I always relied on thought-out logistics, exercised caution, and strictly followed tactical doctrine. You look like a soldier to the core. You must have been serving all your life. Who knows what the future holds for me, huh? In my spare time, I study history and applied anthropothology. I'm just an amateur, of course, but sometimes I think I could be a decent lecturer. Almost as good as I am as an adventurer. Why? I might even find a way to combine the two callings. I was completely smitten when I discovered Sarkorian culture. They were such an interesting people. Just freedom-loving, tenacious. Sure, their traditions were not entirely flawless, but nevertheless their demise was a great loss for all of Avestan. I have some questions about your fascination with Sarkoris. What the heck? Okay. You know what? I have no more questions. Yeah, we're going to do this next episode.